Well, let's start our course with a simple question, and that is just what is an ASP? As we start, I want to warn you now, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, so you may hear a little bit of an accent in here, and if I use any words that you're not familiar with, if I catch myself, I'll explain what they are. I will try not to use any southern colloquialisms that you may not understand, but those will be something that you could email me. I always enjoy getting those. So what is an ASP? First of all, ASP stands for Active Server Pages, and you can break that down and really explain exactly what this technology is. First of all, Active Server, and that's really a good way of saying that the web server becomes extremely active in the process of handing requested data back to the browser. Because rather than just sitting there and the server handing static pages back that never change, the server actually renders these pages on a as-needed basis and sends them out kind of on the fly. And active, of course, means that this is active, that they can be changed, they are dynamic. And then, of course, pages refers to the actual pages that are being requested, the HTML pages and the ASPX pages and the ASP pages and so forth. Now, also, I want to point out that ASP can be confusing, and it's fairly often that I start to read an article about ASP, and after the first line or two, I realize, hey, wait a minute, they're not talking about active server pages here. Because ASP is also an acronym for Application Service Provider, and I just want you to be aware of that. And that's a situation where you use an application over a network, usually the internet, where you don't actually have the application on your machine, you just simply utilize it in that network type situation. But I just want you to be aware of that. Now, a real good brief description of active server pages describes the fact that this is a server-side technology, that the magic happens on the server, and there are advantages and disadvantages to that we'll talk about later. But understand that this is technology. ASP is a set or a family of technologies. You can't go down to your local computer store and buy an ASP. You don't load up an ASP. You load up some technology such as the .NET framework for ASP or Internet Information Server to get ASP. And it is really a set of coding constructs that outline how the web server is going to behave under certain conditions, and we'll talk about that. Now, I also want to make you aware of the competing technologies. It's always good to know what else is out there that competes with what you're doing. Now, I'll tell you, I have a definite bend toward ASP. It's a Microsoft technology. Now, that's not to say that others aren't excellent ways to do the same thing. I will tell you that Microsoft has really worked hard. ASP.NET is one of the more exciting technologies in the .NET framework, especially early on. The .NET framework is huge and it covers a lot of ground. ASP.NET is getting a lot of attention, and it's kind of the first wave of acceptance, and you'll see why as we go through the course here. But one of the competing technologies you'll hear a lot about is JSP, Java Server Pages. Very similar technology. Just kind of want you to be aware of what's out there. These are excellent technologies. I by any means don't want to downgrade them. A lot of people use these and use them and get very excellent results. PHP is another one. These tend to be on Unix platforms, and the debate between the Unix guys and the Microsoft guys is legendary, and so I don't want to get into all that right now. The one thing I want you to understand is that Microsoft looked at the way the web was being used, the way information was being passed back and forth, the need for more dynamic web pages. And they said, with what's out there, what can we do to it to make that more effective? Now, you know, there are a lot of people that really kind of get on Bill Gates' case for the fact that Microsoft takes a lot of other people's ideas and builds on them. There's actually a joke out there. You may have heard it, but that is that if you see Bill Gates on a bicycle, should you swerve and hit him? And, of course, the answer is no. He's probably riding your bicycle. And, you know, a lot of people fault Microsoft for that, but I actually think it's really kind of cool that this company will recognize a technology that has a lot of potential and then take that technology and build on it and work it into their products. And that is exactly what ASP is. We will take a look in a couple of the later videos on the history of ASP, and you'll have a better understanding and more of a foundation on what it is, how we got here, and what makes ASP.NET so special. In the next video, we're going to take a look at some diagrams. I want to draw out graphically what ASP is, what it does, And I want you to get an image kind of in your brain as we go through here so that you can kind of refer back to that image and see what step you are in the whole ASP process.